Hello again. In this video we will see what a group by do, then we will group by one column, we will group by two or more columns, we will do some aggregate operations, and finally we will do a simple bar plot over a group. The idea is split the data into groups based on some criteria. For example, we have this data frame, okay, and let's imagine that we want to group by gender. So it will generate two groups, okay, the first one for male, the rows that have male gender, and the second one for female, okay. Now let's imagine that we want to group by year. Instead of the gender, it will be the year, so it will generate two different groups, okay, one for 2014 and the second one for 2015. And why we want to do this? Well, we can do some operations over these groups, okay, like sum the product sold by year. So we will get something like this, where we have the number of products sold in each year. Now that we know this, let's do the code. Like in the previous videos, we are importing pandas here, and then we need to load a CSV file. The CSV file is this one, products sold 2 is just this, okay? It has a year, the number of electronics sold, the number of movies sold, and the gender, if it is a male or a female. Going back, we are displaying the original data frame here, and then we will do our code. Let's start by doing the group by one column exercise, okay? So we declare a group by variable that is equals to dataframe dot group by, and we pass a string that is the name of the column that we want to group by. Is just this, group by year. Then we need to print this. We save and we run this, and we got this result. We have here the original data frame, and here is the result of our group by. We have a data frame group by object. So this is not very pretty, and we need to print this in another way. So the correct way to print this is using a for loop. Let's do that. For name, the name of the group, and the group itself. In group by, we want to print the name and also to print the group itself. Okay, we save these and we run, and we get this result. We have two groups here. The first one is for 2014 and the second one is for 2015. Now let's go to the second exercise, doing a group by with two columns, and is very easy. Okay, let me copy the first one, copy here, paste here, and instead of passing just a string with the name of the column that we want to group by, we pass a list. Okay, so we will group by year and also by gender. Let's run these, and now we have this result with four groups. We have here the name of the group, 2014 and female, okay, 2014 and male. This is another group and another group and another, and here are the rows for each group. Let's move on to operations exercise, and let me paste here the previous example and also rename this. Instead of group by, it will be group by 2, and let's print these. And now let's imagine that you want to get total of movies sold by year and by gender. To do that, we just need to call here the movies column and do a sum operation, just like this. Let's run, and we got this result. For the year 2014 and for the gender female, there was 91 movies sold, and for the gender male for the same year we got 267 movies sold, and so forth. We are doing this, the sum, just for the column movies, but we can do for all the columns of the data frame. Let me copy this one, paste here, and remove the movies. Okay, just this. Instead of calling movies and then the sum function, we just need to call the sum function over this group. Okay, let's run this. And now we got these results where we have the electronics and the movies column. Also, we can do other kind of operations. Instead of just calling the sum function, we can call, for example, the mean function or even the count function. Okay, this count function will count how many rows exists in each group. We are calling each function at a time. Let's call all the functions in just one time. Okay, to do that, we just need to paste here the previous thing and call another function that is the aggregate for aggregate. Okay, and this receives a list with the names of the functions that we want to call. Okay, the first one will be the sum function, the second one will be the mean function, and the third one, just to be different, instead of count it will be the standard. Let's run this, and now we got this. We have grouped by year and gender, and now here we have electronics with a column for the sum, a column for the mean, and a column for the standard, and another for movies where we have sum, mean, and standard. Let's do the final exercise, plotting the data, and I will paste here the previous example. I will change the name of the variable. Instead of GB2 is GB3, and instead of group by the year and gender, we just want to group by the year. Okay, after this we need to import matplotlib.pyplot as p, and we need to call the function plot over the GB3. Okay, and the kind of plot is a bar chart. Okay, after this we need to say p.show, because if we don't say this, the bar chart will not appear. Okay, let's run, and we got this nice chart. Okay, now let's do another chart. Instead of group by year, we want to group by the gender, and let's see what happens. Gender, let's run, and we got here this chart where we have a very high bar here and another here, because this is the year, the sum of the years, and we want to remove the year from these. To do that, we go here and we say dataframe2 is equals to dataframe.drop. What we want to drop is the column year. Okay, and also we need to inform Pandas that this is on the axis equals 1, the columns axis. Then instead of calling the group by over the data frame, we call it over the data frame 2. Let's run this again, and now we got our chart without the year column. Let's review. To do a group by, we just need to call this function group by. We pass the string that is the name of the column that we want to group by. Then we have to use a for loop to print the name and the group itself. We will get something like this. To do a group by 2 or more columns is very similar, but instead of passing just one string, we pass a list of strings that are the names of the columns that we want to group by. We have another for loop to do the same job as the previous one. About aggregate operations, we can call a column and then call the function sum, for example, and we will get something like this, or we just can call the function sum directly from the group. Okay, so we will get the sum of all the columns, not just for the movies. Also, we can call the function aggregate, so we can pass the functions that we want to apply to our group, okay, in this way. To do the simple bar plot, we just needed to get the previous example and import matplotlib. Okay, then we needed to plot the data from this group, and we needed to say it was a bar chart. Then finally show. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you are not subscribed, and as always, thank you for watching.